Fuck me up. All right, today we're here at Probst Electric.
I'm Brody Hutchison with Probst Electric. I'm their fleet manager.
They run some big, bad machines, a lot of Class 8, all-wheel drive, super heavy-duty stuff. Let's go take a look through the shop. We're gonna do a quick walkthrough of the fleet, see how their shop operates, and stay tuned to the end. Yeah, we're going to New Mexico. We're gonna visit Taryn and the job down there. So this is the shop here at Probst Electric. Super clean, super well organized. A couple things I noticed right away is the wheel lifts. We have a set in our shop too, but I see you've got more than we do. Why did you guys go with the mobile columns instead of a like 4-post lift or something?
We've been wanting them for a very long time, and the reason why we went with the mobile ones is just so that we could move from bay to bay if we needed to. We needed something that we could lift. A crane if we wanted to. We got a lot of our 40-ton cranes.
Yeah, for reference, these 6 lifts right here will lift a fully loaded dump truck.
Yeah.
No problem. When you're done with them, you push them over out of the way. Great shop addition. Another thing I noticed as we walk through the door is this massive 20,000-pound overhead crane. That is the biggest overhead crane I've seen in a fleet shop.
A fleet shop,
you see a lot of like major fab shops, but a fleet shop, I mean, that's huge.
It is. It's man's best friend in here.
I bet.
For our excavators and stuff, you notice we have the tracks that are in the concrete here. It's actually train track rails embedded in the concrete. When we bring the track equipment, the yellow iron in with tracks and stuff like that, you notice there's no chipping on the concrete.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way out to the pad there, the end of the pad. So when we roll a dozer in, a D8 dozer or something like that, we don't have any chipping on the concrete and that.
That's genius. I've never seen that.
It's nice.
The other option for bringing tracked machines in is either lay down wood, which sucks, or tires.
We used to do rubber matting off of potato.
Oh, the big rubber belting?
Yep, the rubber belting off of that. And like you said, it's a hassle to do that.
That's genius. You're gonna build a shop and you work on big yellow iron, put some railroad rails in there. What are you working on in the shop today?
So they call these a little backyard machine, and that's exactly what they are. They're just wide enough that you can fit through their yard gate, and guys can go in the backyard and reset a pole. This one is coming in for some damage. They hit the boom on the one side and messed up the hydraulic hose track. So these guys were gonna replace it. This one's actually rented. Once it's all fixed up, we'll send it back. But
get a new one?
Yeah, well, they're done with it. The job's done with it. They had a little job. It only lasted 3 weeks.
And you rent it and then just take it back to the rental company when you're done.
Yep.
This is a cool machine. It's got a bucket. There's clip pins on there, it looks like.
Yeah, they can do everything in changing out a distribution pole in the backyard. They can dig the hole, they can grab it and set the pole, and then turn around and put their bucket on and do all their insulators and their changeover without having to tear somebody's fence down to get in the backyard or the easements. You can take these right in the backyard. Them tracks will actually extend out.
Oh, really?
To give you a wider foot pattern once you're in the backyard for tipping hazard.
Drive it from the back there like a walk behind skid steer?
They have a remote too, so you can stay away from the machine if you want to be up by
watching what you're hitting. That's a cool machine. I'm kind of a multi-purpose crane, pole setter, digger derrick, and a bucket truck.
Yep, all in one.
That's awesome. What does a machine like that cost?
I would say you're right at probably 150 to 200.
It's about the same as a bucket truck, a basic bucket truck.
The functionality,
not a loaded bucket truck,
but the functionality of it to do everything, it's awesome.
That's super cool. That's not something you see every day. So what's this big machine here? This is probably not something someone sees every day, right?
No, this unit is a V-groove line puller, and basically they'll run their rope through there after they fly it in the power line.
How do they fly it in?
They'll hook onto the rope, and they'll pull the rope in and then go ahead and hook to either a hardline machine, which has hardline 3/8 cable or 7/16, and then they'll pull it back. This particular unit is designed for pulling rope on with tension. You see you got that bull wheel in the back there?
Yeah.
That it'll feed it on the reel with tension if they're slack. A lot of times too, they'll use this for old distribution wire or something like that. If they're just doing wire change out, they'll roll it up on here, and then that's a split drum to where they can split that drum, take it apart, and then dispose of the wire.
Oh, okay. So
then they put the drum back together. These two arms
this obviously hits the ground, it looks like.
Yep. These two arms will come down, and then there's 4 bolts in the center that they'll unbolt it and then lift it up and just take that reel out of wire and dispose of it or get rid of it. Yeah.
Pretty cool machine. If you ever wonder how your power lines get pulled tight, something looks like this.
All right, guys, huge shout out to Probst Electric for having us out here. This is an opportunity that I've been kind of dreaming up for a little over 2 years now. I've wanted to hook up with these guys just because I know the amount of work that they do to keep the lights on for America and the amount of equipment that they have. This has been a dream of mine, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. One message that I wanted to put out there is you buy our merch, you protect the trades. What that means is you go buy something on our website, we take 20% of that and we donate it to a local trade school, helping kids get into the trades, helping adults get into the trades, filling the trades full of a young, invigorated workforce. As we talk to these different companies, we see a common theme. Good workers are hard to come by. We want to support the trades. So like I said, guys, go buy merch, support the trades.
This is our typical wash bay. Pull them up on the rack there and wash out from underneath them.
You have to test them each time they go out?
No, they
Or is
just
it
do
annual?
an annual. If there's any damage to the boom or anything like that, then we have to have them retested.
You use just a big diesel
Yep.
pressure washer?
This one's pretty old. This one's lasted us quite a while. Just
Which
an
is
old
impressive because
old Hotsy.
they burn themselves up pretty easy.
They do.
Keeping stuff clean makes it last a lot longer. And so wash bay, pretty critical for a fleet like this. How many vehicles do you have in your fleet?
With pickups and everything, we're right at 1,800 right now.
1,800?
Yep. That's just what we own. We'll rent another 30% on top of that.
Wow.
From all over.
So this is your yard here?
Yep.
Is there any organization or rhyme or reason of why, what's where?
Yep.
Or,
Everything on that side is done, ready to go. Everything on this side is everything that needs to run through the shop. It's either come off of a job, we don't know what's wrong with it, we've got to go through it.
what's your most common piece of machinery here? Probably your bucket trucks or?
Right now, I mean, mostly that they're working on daily would be vehicles, just pickups.
Yeah.
We go through a lot of pickups. We got a lot of guys working for us.
You just repairing damage mostly, or do you like general service here too?
No, general service. We've got our Caldwell facility. There's some smaller projects up there that they're doing, but we get a lot of pass through, and then a lot of it is we'll bring trucks in, get them fixed back up, ready to go for the next project. But you always have the ones that are broke down on the project that we'll haul back here, and we'll just swap them out. We'll just give them a new truck. But we do all of our own, put our flatbeds on and our truck beds. We put them all on here.
You do all the installs
and then do all
here?
our upfits here.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Fuel tanks?
Yep, slip
transfer tanks, crossbody boxes.
Yep.
What can you tell me about? I guess we can walk over there if you want, but what do you call these?
So we call these rack trucks. Like this one is a winch truck. They'll use it there's a butterfly attachment that will clip onto here, and you disengage your winch, and then your butterfly, it'll roll the rope. They're pulling something up to the tower.
Yeah.
They can roll that rope up and pull something up to the guys, a grunt sack.
What's the difference between that and a capstan?
It's pretty well the same.
Same thing?
Yep.
You'll notice a lot of these, like the big bucket trucks and stuff, they'll sit a little higher than the rest. This one doesn't, but it looks like that one over there does. So most of these are gonna be four-wheel drive, right?
Yeah. A lot of them are on the transmission side. They'll be the 6x6s.
Okay.
When you get to the distribution buckets and diggers, there's no sense to really have the four-wheel drive. They're on pavement most of the time, or in subdivisions and stuff like that. That old Army truck there.
Yeah, it's an old, looks like a 7-ton Oshkosh probably.
Yep.
And they just animals.
They are animals.
6-wheel drive, big tires, lots of clearance.
This is what the guys use on the helicopter crew. They'll put all their materials in these job vans. There's shelving built in them. They'll have all their day-to-day tools and stuff in there where they can lock it up at night.
Yeah.
And then go to the next pad site or go.
As you go pad to pad?
Yep.
Those big towers, are they setting each piece with a helicopter, or you bring in a big crane?
It depends on the location of where the pad's at. But if we can get to it with a 40-ton crane or even a 160-ton crane, them RT cranes, if we can get to the pad site, it's cheaper to build it that way.
What do you pay hourly for a helicopter?
$1,000 an hour.
$1,000 an hour. Okay,
the pilot was surprisingly $110 an hour.
Okay.
I figured that would be more.
A good mechanics.
About $1,000 an hour on the helicopter.
Huh.
And he'll usually have a fueling guy there with him.
Yeah. He'll land and guy will refuel him and he'll go back up and just keep setting parts, and they'll just have a team of guys up on the tower there erecting it the whole time.
Yep. And in the morning and he'll do all of his checks and check his yards out where he's going to land at, and then they'll have the water trucks there to keep the dust down, so when the helicopter lands, you don't get that up in the rotors and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
getting dust in your
But
intake.
then he'll fly guys out to the transmission line in the mornings, go set them guys up there, and usually what they're using most of the time with the helicopters, we're hanging travelers with it, the wheels that hang on where the insulators would be.
Yeah.
And that's the first start of the process, is when they hang them. But as far as the towers, when they set towers, the only time they really use them are the big twin rotor tower or helicopters.
Yeah.
And they usually do it to where they can't get a crane into. So they'll build it in sections of what it can fly up.
10,000 pounds at a time.
Yep.
Probably a bit Chinook then, right?
It is a Chinook. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. They're amazing machines.
Yep.
Enormous.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're flying these giant power line towers in with Chinooks, probably in the mountains mostly.
Yep. Mountain
And
ranges.
Super rough places where you can't drive a crane. And yeah, putting power line towers together so you can cook your ramen noodles.
All these orange units, they're usually something to do with the pulling system. And this one's another puller. This one has a rope on it. So they'll run that rope out, hook it to the wire, and pull it in.
So this will pull 4 wires at the same time, I would guess?
Nope, we just do one at a time.
Okay.
Safety purposes, because you'll fly each one out with the helicopter, and they'll clip it in them travelers. So they have a little fly gate. It's basically a spring-loaded gate that he'll pull tension on it and then clip it in, and then he'll go to the next structure.
How does the helicopter guy get it in the traveler?
The process, what he'll do is he'll hook onto it and he'll head to the first tower. He'll say, hold the pole or slow it down. That'll build tension on that rope to where it gets tight.
Yeah.
And he slides it over in that fly
Really?
gate, clips it in, then he says, let it go. And then he'll head to the next one. These have brakes on them. They'll get the tension to where he likes it, and then he'll let it loose, and he'll go to the next tower. He'll say hold it, he'll go past it, and then clip it in, go to the next one.
Wow. These pilots have got to be just incredible.
They are.
Do you know what kind of helicopter they fly on the light, on the smaller, on the like set and rope like that?
It's usually like the 450s or the 600s.
The MDs?
Yeah, they're light with a lot of power.
And maneuverable.
Yep.
Super maneuverable. Fun to fly in. If you've never flown one, go try it out. What about this old deuce and a half here?
This is typically your tensioner. This is the wire size of that, and this is your wire that's going on most of your transmission lines. I mean, they vary in sizes, right? This will come off the reel that's on a wire boat, and it's got, it'll have 3 reels of wire on it. Well, they'll come up through here, and this is what holds the tension as the hardline puller's pulling it on the other side.
Huh.
After we get done here, we can go over and I'll show you the hardline puller that's actually pulling on the wire itself to pull it in. Yep.
Now, is this aluminum?
The outer core is aluminum, and then you'll see right in the center there's your steel cord. This is most of your strength right here.
Strength's in the middle, and then
Wire
conductor on the outside. Hard to go wrong with a deuce and a half. Thank you, U.S. military, for building thousands of these things and just kicking them out in the market.
I mean, the places that we go, we need everything to lock in. And then you've got your tow rings on the front, your winches, anything. I mean, we go places that you wouldn't think you would ever get a heavy machine like this.
I would assume that dozer spends a lot of time pulling trucks up and down a hill.
It does, yep.
So this is the work ready line, ready to roll out on the next big job, or this is probably an extension of that line, I assume?
It is an extension of that line.
Class 8, T880, great semi.
Yeah, we use a lot of semis and float, we call them float trailers, just a regular flat deck trailer for a lot of spotting our materials, tower arms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have quite a few of these on site. That one's obviously
That's a big boy.
That one's a stretch.
Yeah, so that's extendable. So you can unlock it and extend it out to carry full-size power poles, stuff like that.
We do a lot of the concrete poles and then just the steel poles. They call them a monopole, just a single pole.
Yeah.
They'll haul the sections out with them. They'll have to extend them out sometimes.
That's a big trailer. That's probably 60 feet as it sits. Most of them are 53. That's a big trailer. So over here, looks like we've got a D8 dozer without the blade on it.
Yep, this one just got back to us. We took the blade off to get it here. Obviously, it's too wide to haul it.
Easier to transport. What's the blade, 14 feet wide?
This one's almost 18, I think.
18, so yeah, you can't even haul this.
No.
Have to take the blade off.
This one's set up for mostly towing. I mean, they will use these occasionally to sag the wire, but typically the ones that we're sagging wire with, we have 3 winches. You'll have 2 up top, 1 in the center.
Yeah, so they can either tension your wires, your big wires with this, or else hook up to equipment and move it up to the next pad where they're, going tower to tower. Now, this is actually a fairly new machine. Is this something you guys would rent or lease, or do you guys own
We
most of
own
these?
it. We own a handful of these. A lot of them we do rent from other Quanta companies. It's kind of, especially the Sag Cats. The Sag Cats have a blade on it, and really the blade, we don't use the blade for anything. It's
Yeah.
more so to stick it in the ground,
Anchor.
to be able to use it as an anchor.
I've actually talked to Con-M.
Con-M. Yep.
He was explaining how within Quanta, something they do that's unique for their fleet, when they're done with a vehicle, they'll put it in a list or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then if another company needs it, they'll just transfer it to that other company.
Yep.
And if no one needs it, they'll send it to auction or remarket it however they see fit. But
we do a lot of that.
Kind of intercompany trading.
Yep, it's intercompany trading. And what we do is if we don't have a use for it anymore, we try not to let it sit on our books. So we'll put it on our website, and then all the Quanta companies can look at that website. And if it's something they need, they can just transfer it right over to them.
That's smart.
It is smart.
Yeah, saves aging inventory from sitting on your books, and then probably gets you access to a lot of functional equipment.
It does. And then some of them one-off jobs that you don't normally do.
Yeah.
Other Quanta companies will have that, equipment or
ready to go.
Ready to go.
And then everything over there is going to be repairs, maintenance, all that kind of stuff. Does the rain just kill you guys?
Yeah, the rain does, because a lot of the roads and pads that we built in these remote locations, they're not gravel roads, right? I mean, they're just dirt. You just go in and blade them to where it's smooth. So when it rains, it gets slick and knotty.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, we so down on the farm, we get weather when we're trying to do harvest or something like that, and it's a real mess.
Yeah.
It makes everything take 4 or 5 times longer, and it gets challenging. So that's why you've got a big digger truck. It's a 6x6.
Yep, it is.
So you look down there in the front, it's got a great big pumpkin on the front axle, and you can lock that thing in and dig. Would you have pole trailers? You'll take the poles behind this?
Yep.
Or do they usually go on a separate truck?
No, they'd put a pole trailer behind that.
Yeah, so he'll drag the pole behind him on a pole trailer, basically a single axle trailer that's got 2 carriages like that, and the pole sits in there and they strap over it. And then he'll just park on the site wherever he's got to put this new transmission pole, say it gets hit in a crash or lightning or whatever damages the power pole. It's got an auger on there, the derrick digger, and yeah, he'll auger a hole out, swing around, grab the power pole, set it in the hole. He'll hold it in place while they come. Do they concrete it in, or do they just come in and compact it?
Here's your tamp system on a hose reel. In fact, they have a tamp connected to it right now. This is what your tamp would look like. Got a little footprint on it so that you can get around the edge of the pole. They'll feed this down in the hole, and they'll actually use their hoses to hold on to. They've got an auxiliary on the back here that we can flip it to and sit and tamp with it.
Packs that dirt in there rock solid, kind of like concrete would, but not concrete. And then that power pole's stuck in there. It's not going to be leaning or
no sway.
Yeah, not going to be swaying with the wind or whatever. You'll see those power poles break before you see them pull out of the dirt. I've never seen one pull out of the dirt. See them break off all the time with wind. How deep do they typically put a pine power pole?
I want to say it's 20% of
the
what the height is. Sometimes it's not as far as you'd think.
Yeah. So if you guys watch our channel, you've seen our bucket truck walk around that we've done a little bit. We sell a lot of your class 5 and class 6 bucket trucks. Highest one we've done so far is a 57-foot working height.
And them are on like a 550
550
chassis
or an F600.
Yeah.
This thing's incredible. Obviously, it's 6-wheel drive.
If you wanted to extend this lower one up, you could stand it straight up. You can stand this other one straight up, and then your turret is going to be roughly, 60 feet in the air?
Wow.
So then you got your rotation up there at 60 feet.
Wow.
Where you've got your lower boom and your upper boom.
You got to have some cojones to go up in
So you can honestly
be bold.
Almost 50 feet away from the center of the truck hanging out there.
50-foot side reach. So I'm assuming this section here is fiberglass.
Yep.
And then that section right there is probably fiberglass.
Yep.
To insulate different insulation breaks for safety reasons. Working on high power, high voltage transmission lines, you got to be insulated from the ground.
Yep. There's a grounding lug on the back that they'll actually screw a ground into the ground and tie a ground to the truck. This one has been set up with them Corona rings on the top upper boom.
Yeah.
They use this one for bare hand work a lot. We just sent another one off to go get bare hand tested.
Huh.
And so they'll do everything in the bucket truck bare hand.
No gloves.
No gloves. They do everything bare hand, and
Those are
they solely,
live wires.
oh yeah, solely rely on the bucket truck. It has they call it a Vaughan meter on it to be able to tell how much induction is coming down through it.
Because those gloves those guys use are pretty cumbersome, right?
Yeah, they're a rubber glove with some insulation in them.
Yeah.
But even when they hook to the power line, they'll have their little ground lead that they hook to it, and you'll see an arc come off of it that far. Especially when they let go of it, the arc will come with it.
Wow.
Or they'll sit there and hover, they'll play and hover their hand over it and have the electricity bouncing through their glove.
That's nuts.
Not something I want to do.
No, yeah,
it's cool to watch.
I mean, in the shop, man.
I've worked on a lot of them, and as mechanics that haven't been around the power line business, the worst thing that you can ever think about doing, but it's the first thing a guy does, is when he hops up to the job site, he's watching them up here, they do this.
Oh yeah.
And that's a huge no-no, because now you just made yourself the ground.
Boom.
Yep.
You're getting exploded.
Yep.
What's the voltage on most of these lines you guys work on?
230 usually.
Wow.
Is 230 kV. A lot of the lines that we're doing in New Mexico right now are 500 kV. They're the big transmission lines, the ones with the towers. I don't know that they do any of them hot. If they do them hot, they do them from a helicopter.
Sure. Can't touch the ground in a helicopter.
No.
When you're in the air.
They still have that same static wire, the ground though, that they do connect to it to equalize the potential.
Huh.
Because the helicopter creates its own static.
Yeah.
Plus you have the static off the power line that they'll connect the ground to.
And they equalize out.
And then they can touch it. They usually take the bottom, and they'll have crews up there that they fly up there in the morning, and then they'll bring the sections into them. They'll hover over it and hold it, and they'll bolt that section up. And then they'll take the bridge. You'll see the bridge where they've got the big piece. Usually that'll go on top. But them guys will be on the tower as the helicopter comes in, and they'll go ahead and bolt that together.
The helicopter sets that tower down, and they're just shoving bolts and tightening up. That helicopter's got to sit there and hover.
Yep. Because usually all that is up there is just angle iron.
Yeah.
So you're putting two angle pieces together and then just bolting them together.
I assume there's 4 guys out there when they're flying a tower in to do each corner.
Yeah.
There's 4 dudes clipped in halfway up a tower with a helicopter hovering over them, setting another piece on top of there.
Yep.
That seems extremely unsafe to me.
Yep.
But like you said,
they understand their task and what they're doing, and if the task changes, then the tailboard changes.
Yeah.
They come down if they see a hazard because the wind's blowing too hard or the wind shifted on them that they weren't ready for. They'll come down, or they'll have a tailboard between the 4 of them right there, and they'll figure out the task and
step back and regroup.
Yep, regroup and look at the situation and then put failures. If something does happen, what are we going to do?
I'd love to go out for just a week.
Yeah.
just put bolts together.
It is. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch them guys. I think the hardest job is one of them steel erector. You're standing on angle iron all day.
Yeah.
Up on a tower that's hot.
Clipped in.
Yeah,
in the sun.
You know, you're elevated 100 feet up there. Them guys are tough.
Heck yeah. Steel erectors.
Yep.
America. Oh, this got to be a 70s or 80s GMC. So they got a custom lift on here. It is 4-wheel drive. What kind of bed you got on here?
So the bed, this is called a sleeving rig. And what it's set up for is you can only go so far on a reel of wire before you run out, right? Yeah. Just like building fence at your house. You're gonna run out of wire, well, you're gonna need to splice it. What they do is they'll take each winch on each side and grab a hold of the wire.
And these wires are huge.
Yeah, just like what we seen over there earlier. You'll be inching an 8. They have a sock, like a Chinese finger. That's what they'll have on them that connect them, that keep them going to tie them all together. But once it's in, you're gonna have to take that sock out and put basically a butt connector splice in between. So what it'll do is it'll hook the wire. The center one will hook up over the wire and pull it down to these winches.
Pull the sock down.
Yep.
Where you can get at it.
And then they'll grab both ends of the wire and put slack in it. And then usually they have a press head bench set up here.
That's what slides right here?
Yep. It slides on here, and then they'll press their sleeves in that. in that wire to make that connection.
I assume they're hydraulically pressed.
Yep, they're using that motor on the back to run all the winches, and then their press motor has its own engine and press on it.
Little gas-powered motor.
Yep, it's a 100-ton press head.
100-ton.
Yep.
Wow.
That they press that. They're actually bonding that wire together as they butt connect it.
Press is so tight that it bonds them together.
Yep.
Wow.
There's actually a process on that where they take the wire back in that core in the center. They'll connect them together and just splice them together, and then they work from the center
Work their way out.
Wow. Yep.
Sounds like an all-day job.
Honestly, once them guys get in rhythm, they can do that in probably an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Really?
If everything runs smooth.
Huh.
They'll do 3 wires.
In an hour and a half.
Yep.
And then move to the next section.
Yep.
How long is one typical roll of transmission wire?
I think typically we're running about a 1/4 mile section at a time.
So he'll move down, he'll get his 2-hour job done and move down a 1/4 mile.
Yep.
And do it again.
Yep.
Move down a 1/4 mile, do it again.
I mean, there's so many factors that come into it, where you can have a splice and where you can't have a splice.
You probably can't have a splice right over a tower.
Nope, you can't have one on an insulator. It has to be in the center of the tower or 3/4 the way up.
And the tower's always spaced the same distance apart?
Nope.
Are there...
An engineer figures that ground.
Depending on drop, elevation, all that kind of stuff?
And they know how much line tension is going to be on every certain point. Even when you come to a dead end, they call a dead end, it's basically a 90.
Yeah.
Or where the wire ends, and then you transfer a different angle. They know how much tension is going to be on there with their sag that they put in the wire, and then how much belly they put in it.
Yeah.
There's so much that comes into play that you wouldn't even think.
Yeah. You get home at night and flip your lights on, you don't think about all the ins and outs, the whys of everything that went into putting that power line in.
Yep.
Like, it's got to go over this mountain, and then it's got to turn and go that way, and the pole going this way can't pull that power pole over. Like, it's pretty incredible. We appreciate you guys keeping the lights on. So yeah, we're going to New Mexico. We're going to visit Taryn and the job down there. Some of the things we're going to see, they're going to have helicopters down there. They'll have cranes, the line pullers. Something that's really piqued our interest are the buggies. Talk to us about these
are called
buggies here.
Spacer buggy carts. And what they do is the crane will lift them up on the wire after they've already got it sagged and everything.
3 wires, right?
Yep. Down on that job, there is 3. And they'll hook these on with these rollers. These what roll on the wire itself. As you can tell, these ones are grooved and worn from the wire. They'll fly a guy up there in the helicopter and long line him in, or he'll just climb the tower, or they'll put him in with the crane basket, one or the other.
It's like, hook him up.
He gets up there, make sure he's full of gas and everything before they go up, and he fires the little Honda motors up.
He's standing in this basket.
He stands in the center, and the wires are going to be over his head. So he's at the same height as the wire and the tower, the whole thing. He brings his spacers up with him. He'll go ahead and run the hydraulic functions. It's got a little hydraulic motor on it, and it just runs the one power wheel right here. And this powers the unit and drives it on the power lines as he puts spacers in every so often, so that wires don't slap together once the finished product's done. When he runs out of spacers, because them spacers are heavy, he can't pack that much weight in here, they'll hang them off the next tower. So when he goes to the next tower, he'll load up his spacers in his buggy, and then he'll use these hydraulic rams to reach out and clip onto the wire on the other side of the insulator, because he's got to pass through.
It goes through the center of the tower.
Through the center and on both sides.
The top's like this, and he goes under it like that.
These will already be on the wire, and he'll take this one won't be on the wire. He'll take this ram and extend it out and clip it on the other side, and then lift himself up and take these ones off the wire, and then go the same thing, and then he'll get past the tower, and then away he goes again.
And these are 100 to 120 feet in the air?
Yeah.
Any idea what those guys make?
They're just regular linemen.
Regular guys.
Yep. Just
linemen make great money, don't get me wrong, right?
Yep. They do. If they're journeyed out, I think they're anywhere from 50 to 60 bucks an hour. Great
job. If you're looking for a job, a lineman's a great career.
Yeah.
Where's this job at in New Mexico, and how far of a
So they
How
just
long is the job?
they just shifted from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and now they're up in Corona. So main cities around there, Albuquerque is real close to it, and yeah, out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Really. It really is.
Really?
So
Hot and dry.
a lot of the transmission lines that are coming out of there is from that wind project.
Big wind farm down there?
Big wind farm that they need more power line to supply it, or to produce it.
Okay, well, we're super excited to get down to New Mexico and see the buggies in action. Maybe, you know, see if we can become a journeyman really quick and get on payroll down there so we can get up and run one. That'd be fun. But yeah, let's take a quick look at the line puller.
This is what we use to pull in all the wire. This is a 3-drum puller, and right now this one has 7/16 cable on it. So typically what would happen is on the big transmission lines, they would hook the helicopter to this 7/16 wire, and he pulls it out the full length of their pole, whatever they're gonna do, whether it be 2 miles or 3 miles or whatever they're gonna do. I wanna say on this one, I think there's just shy of 25,000 feet of cable on each drum.
Wow, look at that thing.
They'll set this up on one end and then another hardline puller on the other end. But the other hardline puller on the other end will have either 3/4 cable or 7/8 cable. So the helicopter will fly this in, hook to the other puller, butt it up to its wire, because it's 7/8. It's the one that's going to pull the heavy wire in. They'll pull it back to here, and then the wire boats will be on this end. They'll hook to the wire and then pull the wire in.
With the heavier cable.
With the heavier cable, because the 7/16 can't pull that much.
But the helicopter can't lift the 7/8.
It can't lift the 7/8.
So you got to do it twice.
You got to do it twice.
Nice.
Yep.
So this thing's incredible. You've obviously done a frame off restoration on it.
Yep. This one just barely got back. They had them go in and repower the drivetrain on it, and we did a little bit different system on it. Running belts before, and they put a double chain sprocket in there to
locked all the way.
And then there's this one had the Army truck tires on it.
Yeah.
But they're getting harder and harder to find.
And they're always outdated.
Plus you've got the split rim with the tubes in them, and then the rubber O-rings.
Yeah,
so
dangerous.
we switched these over to the concrete truck rims.
Yeah.
And then you can find your super single anywhere.
Yeah. Did you guys dream this up, or did you send it out and have it built by these guys, by North American Drum Puller?
North American builds this puller.
The skid.
This skid. This one has actually been on another truck prior to this. 10 years ago, I was here to do this one. We actually put this one on this truck, and then we wanted to clean it up and get it refurbished and do that drive system.
Yeah.
So we sent it off to Patelco, and Patelco went through it and did all that work for us.
They did all this?
Yep.
Do the interior too?
No, I don't think no interior. She's still the old plain Jane Army truck
green
on
Army.
the inside with the gas masks in the back.
Yeah,
we don't even take them out.
Yeah, man.
I think this one, as it sits, I think we're about 68,000 pounds. But
you're low boy in these things.
yeah, we
heavy
low boy
hauling
them there, and then once they're on site, we've had some where we're 120 miles from one end of the power line to the other. We'll load them on a low boy and haul them down rather than have a guy sit in them all day. Nice thing about this one is once you get it on site, I mean, it has its own AC system on it.
Yeah.
It's got a John Deere motor that powers it.
Sitting there comfortable.
Yep.
Notice his windshield on this back cab. It's got a big screen on it.
Yeah.
And that cable breaks, comes flying back. It's not gonna kill him.
Yeah, and it's kind of a cool feature, but once this ladder's pulled down, this airbag will air up, and this cab will go up almost 2 feet.
Oh, really?
So he can see over all of his cable reels, so he can see what's going on, so he's not setting eye level with it.
That's smart.
Gets him up in the air.
Huh. But otherwise, it would be too tall to lowboy it.
Yep.
So that's why.
Even the truck side, back in the day, we installed 2 flip switches so we can lower this down. It comes almost all the way touching the tires, because on the low boys, it's still too high.
We had to air the tires down when we lowboyed that big one that we drove back in the day. Yeah, it's cool. It's great use of an old military machine that would have gone to a scrapyard. They took it apart, repurposed it, refurbished it, and now it's got a whole new life.
We'll use it until it falls apart.
Indefinitely.
They don't make they don't make them like this anymore.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Is this the only one? Or do you have a
No.
few of these?
We've got, I bet we got six or eight pullers right now that we do own
Wow.
and rent.
That's
And
incredible.
they're all a little different setup, a little bit different makeup.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a quick walk around to their laydown yard, their shop, storage facility here, kind of the ins and outs of how Probst Electric runs their fleet. Super interesting to me where we go through so many fleets. We do so many work and, commercial vehicles. Sounds like they've got a crew down in New Mexico. Taryn down there is running a job, and we're going to do our best to make it down there. Stay tuned. We're going to come back to New Mexico and watch Probst Electric in action out in the field. Super awesome, man. Yeah, we appreciate you showing us around.
No, I appreciate you guys coming.
This is awesome.